What if I told you that every toast, every celebratory glass, every indulgent sip was far more than just a fleeting moment of pleasure? What if the very substance you hold in your hand, so innocently poured, so eagerly consumed, is part of an ancient secret that's been hidden from you? A secret so profound, so unsettling, that it could redefine everything you think you know about your spiritual self. This isn't just about alcohol. It's about the unseen forces working to keep you disconnected, lost, and blind to the truth. You've been told that a drink helps you relax, that it's a gateway to fun, connection, and freedom. But what if that's the lie? What if alcohol isn't liberating you, but binding you? Across centuries, mystics whispered warnings about this substance, a spiritual thief designed not to uplift, but to dim the spark of the divine within. Think about it. Why is alcohol celebrated in nearly every culture, woven into the fabric of our most sacred rituals? Could its omnipresence be a clue to its true purpose, one that's been deliberately obscured? This isn't just a story of history, it's about you. Right now, you might feel a strange pull, a quiet curiosity that you can't quite name. That's not an accident. The truth has a way of finding those who are ready to see. Mystics, alchemists, and spiritual seekers across the ages have all left behind the same message. Alcohol is not just a drink. It's a choice between clarity and chaos, between your higher self and the shadow that longs to pull you under. And yet, this knowledge has been buried, distorted, erased from the narratives we're taught to trust. So let me ask you this. How much of your power are you willing to give away? How many fragments of your higher self will you sacrifice before you start asking the deeper questions? The veil is thin, and what lies beyond it is both unsettling and liberating. Are you ready to uncover the truth about Al-Kuhul and its hidden impact on your spiritual journey? Together, we'll peel back the layers of deception, revealing the profound secrets that mystics tried to preserve, and those forces in power hoped you'd never find. The drink you celebrate with may not be celebrating you. It might be stealing your essence. Buried in the forgotten corridors of ancient alchemy lies a term shrouded in mystery, Al-Kuhul. To the mystics of the past, this word was far more than a label. It represented the pinnacle of purification, the extraction of the purest essence from matter. But here's the twist. What was once a symbol of refinement now chains humanity to forgetfulness. How did something so sacred, so profoundly connected to enlightenment, turn into a tool of spiritual dimming? What if this transformation wasn't accidental, but part of a hidden design meant to obscure the truth? For the alchemists, the process of distillation wasn't merely physical, it was spiritual. They believed that through refining a substance to its core, they were mirroring the journey of the soul itself, peeling back layers to reveal divine clarity. Al-Kuhul was the essence of purity, of enlightenment. Yet today, alcohol, a term derived from this sacred word, embodies the opposite. It's no longer about awakening, it's about numbing. Could this shift in meaning be a subtle sign, a clue to how humanity has veered from its path of spiritual growth? What else have we lost in this inversion of purpose? The power of words, their meanings, and their symbols has always been deeply entwined with the spiritual realm. Al-Kuhul transitioned from being a key to ascension to a symbol of indulgence. Isn't it curious how this parallels humanity's own journey? Once striving for spiritual evolution, now lost in the pursuit of fleeting pleasures. It's as if the essence of this term was intentionally corrupted to reflect our descent into materialism. Could it be that this linguistic transformation carries an esoteric warning? One that's been waiting silently for us to decode? This forgotten history isn't just about the past, it's about the choices we make today. When you drink, you unknowingly embrace the corruption of a once sacred symbol. But what happens if you look deeper, if you strip away the illusions and rediscover what Al-Kuhul truly represents? The answers don't lie in textbooks or modern science, but in the wisdom left behind by mystics who saw this transformation coming. Across the ancient teachings of mystics and sages, a chilling warning echoes. Alcohol, the so-called spirit, is no friend of the soul. In their cryptic texts and guarded symbols, they referred to it as a thief, an unseen force that robs us of our divine connection. Imagine this. Every sip, every indulgence isn't just a moment of escape, it's an invitation for something deeper to slip away. Could it be that what we see as relaxation and joy is, in reality, a subtle drain on our inner power? What did they know that we have forgotten? Mystics observe that alcohol does more than cloud the mind. It severs the sacred thread connecting the body to the soul. They described it as a veil deliberately designed to keep humanity from seeing clearly. Have you ever wondered why something with such destructive potential is so deeply ingrained in our cultures, celebrated, even encouraged? Could it be that its widespread acceptance serves a purpose, to keep us disconnected, to dim the light of our higher selves? It promises euphoria, but what if the true price is far greater than we've been led to believe? This isn't just an isolated observation. It's a pattern woven across time and space. From the mystics of the East to the sages of the West, they all warned of alcohol's hidden power to drain spiritual vitality. But why has this knowledge been buried? Why are we told it's harmless, even beneficial? What if those in power have a vested interest in keeping this truth hidden, knowing that a disconnected soul is easier to control? Have you ever questioned who profits when humanity drifts further from its divine essence? The mystics spoke not to condemn, but to awaken, to remind us that every choice carries a cost, seen and unseen. What if they were right? What if alcohol truly diminishes the divine spark, leaving us less vibrant, less connected, less whole? And yet, this isn't just about abstaining, it's about awareness. Understanding that every decision we make either strengthens or weakens our connection to the divine. So the question is, how much of your essence are you willing to trade? In the ancient art of alchemy, the transformation of lead into gold symbolized spiritual awakening, a journey from ignorance to enlightenment. But alcohol, the so-called spirit, operates in reverse. Instead of elevating us, it drags us down, turning the radiant gold of our essence into the heavy dullness of lead. Have you ever considered this? That what feels like liberation is in truth an unseen regression? The Hermeticists believed that everything in the universe seeks refinement, but alcohol interrupts this flow, pulling us away from our divine potential. Could it be that every drink takes us one step further from the light? The effects of alcohol mirror a corrupted form of alchemical transformation. Instead of purification, it introduces chaos. The ancients knew this well. To them, the physical effects of intoxication were only a fraction of the story. The deeper truth was that alcohol disorients the spiritual body, severing it from higher realms. It's as if with each glass raised, the golden spark within us dims. Think of it. What if every euphoric high comes at the price of bending your reality downward into shadows and illusions? The great paradox of alcohol isn't just in the hangover, it's in the spiritual degradation that lingers long after. The Hermetic tradition taught that true alchemy begins within. It's not about metals, but about the soul's journey to transmute its base elements into divine radiance. Yet alcohol flips this principle entirely. Instead of leading us toward mindfulness and spiritual development, it clouds our path, leaving us lost in the fog of indulgence. The mystics warned that this wasn't mere happenstance. They saw alcohol as a deliberate tool, a substance capable of anchoring the spirit in lower vibrations. How many times have we ignored the subtle voice of intuition after drinking, only to realize later how deeply disconnected we've become? This inversion of alchemical principles is no small matter. It's a spiritual wake-up call. If gold represents our higher self, our limitless potential, then what does lead represent? The dullness of routine, the numbing of creativity, the loss of synchronicities that guide us toward cosmic wealth? Each sip is a choice, to elevate or to descend. The alchemist left us a map, but alcohol rewrites it, leading us further into the labyrinth. In the cryptic texts of mystics and sages, there's a recurring warning, a whisper about substances that open doors to chaos. Alcohol, they claimed, is not just a drink. It is a chalice, a vessel holding more than liquid. It is the key to a realm few dare to explore, the shadow self. When you drink, are you truly celebrating, or are you unknowingly inviting your darker impulses to the surface? The ancients saw intoxication as a ritual of descent, a step away from clarity and a step toward discord. What if every toast brings you closer to the unknown depths of your own shadow? This isn't just metaphorical. Alcohol dismantles the barriers of self-awareness, inviting chaos to the forefront. Mystics saw this as no accident. They believed substances like alcohol were tools, perhaps even weapons, used to weaken spiritual defenses and amplify the shadow self. Have you noticed how, under its influence, tempers flare, regrets multiply, and clarity fades? What if this isn't an unintended consequence, but the very design of something meant to keep humanity in a state of confusion and vulnerability? Think of the times when alcohol seemed to amplify emotions, turning joy into recklessness or sadness into despair. This is the shadow's work, an ancient dance between the light of mindfulness and the darkness of indulgence. In mystical traditions, the shadow self isn't inherently evil, but it is dangerous when untamed. Alcohol acts as the catalyst, accelerating this inner battle, often to disastrous ends. The mystics spoke of this as a spiritual gamble, where the stakes are not just physical well-being, but the balance of the soul itself. Yet the danger isn't in the shadow itself, it's in forgetting. Forgetting who you are, forgetting your purpose, forgetting the light that guides you. The chalice of forgetfulness seduces with promises of escape, but what it delivers is disconnection. It's no wonder mystics warned that indulgence in alcohol could sever the very ties that keep us aligned with our higher selves. But what happens when this disconnection goes unchecked? The higher self, the quiet voice that whispers truths, sparks creativity, and guides us towards spiritual growth, is delicate, almost ephemeral. Mystics believe that alcohol muffles this voice, dulling the connection to our inner power. Have you ever noticed how your intuition seems quieter, your thoughts more chaotic after drinking? This isn't just a coincidence. Alcohol creates static, a kind of spiritual interference that drowns out the divine echoes within. Could it be that with every sip, we lose not just our clarity, but also the sacred guidance that keeps us aligned with our higher purpose? The ancients often described this connection to the higher self as a flame, small but persistent, capable of lighting the way even in the darkest times. Alcohol, they warn, doesn't extinguish this flame outright. Instead, it smothers it with layers of noise, doubt, and disconnection. Imagine trying to hear a soft melody while standing in the middle of a roaring crowd. That's the effect alcohol has on the soul's ability to communicate with the divine. How many sparks of creativity, moments of clarity, or synchronicities have been lost because this channel was muted? This suppression is insidious, often going unnoticed until it's too late. The Sufis called the voice of the higher self a subtle whisper, one that requires mindfulness to hear. Alcohol doesn't just make this whisper faint, it shifts our attention entirely, pulling us into the material and away from the spiritual. Have you ever wondered why regrets often follow a night of drinking? It's not just about poor choices. It's about the dissonance created when we stray too far from the guidance of our higher selves. But here's the most profound mystery. The higher self never truly abandons us. Even in silence, it waits, watching, ready to guide us the moment we return to clarity. Yet the longer we remain disconnected, the harder it becomes to hear its call. What if every moment spent in this state of disconnection is a moment lost to spiritual development? In the teachings of ancient Arabic mystics, the soul was often likened to a flickering flame, a light easily dimmed but never extinguished. They spoke of the winds of earthly desires like alcohol as forces that could cause this flame to waver. Yet they also left behind sacred practices, tools to shield and reignite the light within. Have you ever wondered if the answer to reconnecting with your higher self lies not in something external, but in a process of purification? The Sufis believed this wholeheartedly and preserved the secrets of spiritual revitalization for those ready to awaken. Among these practices, fasting was considered a gateway, a way to strip away the noise of the material world and allow the flame to burn brighter. To abstain was not just a physical act, but a symbolic gesture of realignment with the divine spark. Through silence, prayer, and mindfulness, they taught that the soul could be cleansed of the toxins, both literal and spiritual, that dulled its glow. What if this ancient wisdom holds the key to reclaiming the purity and clarity we so often seek in fleeting pleasures? Could their path to purity be the map we've forgotten how to read? The mystics also spoke of intentional abstinence, not as deprivation, but as liberation. To step away from substances like alcohol was to reclaim sovereignty over the self, to quiet the shadow and amplify the divine. Imagine a life where your choices are no longer dictated by external influences, but guided by the unshakable voice of your higher self. The ancient practices were not about perfection, but about progress. A slow and deliberate path toward raising your vibration and rediscovering the synchronicities that connect us to the cosmos. But the mystics didn't just leave us with rituals. They left us with questions. What are you feeding? Your light or your shadow? Are you allowing the sacred flame within to shine, or are you letting it be consumed by the winds of indulgence? Their teachings urge us to pause, to reflect, and to remember, because within every soul, no matter how dimmed, the flame still burns, waiting to be reignited. The Hermeticists believed the greatest prison is the one we cannot see, the invisible chains that bind us to lower states of being. Alcohol, they warned, is one of those chains, a spell cast upon the soul to cloud the mind and anchor the spirit. Imagine this. With every glass raised, you're not just celebrating, you're unknowingly tightening the grip of a force designed to dim your divine spark. Could this spell be the reason so many feel disconnected, adrift, and unable to break free from patterns of limitation? According to Hermetic wisdom, liberation begins with awareness. The first step is seeing the spell for what it truly is, a mechanism that distorts reality and weakens your ability to manifest higher truths. Mystics often referred to alcohol as a veil, one that obscures the path to spiritual sovereignty. Have you ever felt that nagging sense of regret or unease after drinking, as if something precious had been momentarily lost? That's no accident. It's the whisper of your higher self, urging you to wake up and reclaim what's been taken. But breaking free isn't easy. It demands courage. The courage to confront not only the substance, but the systems that glorify it. Think about this. Why is alcohol presented as a universal solution to joy, sorrow, and even boredom? Why is it so deeply entwined with celebrations, success, and social acceptance? Could it be that its prevalence isn't accidental, but part of a larger effort to keep us sedated and spiritually subdued? The Hermeticists understood this all too well. They believed that the first step to liberation was seeing these patterns for what they truly are, a carefully woven web meant to keep you from realizing your divine power. Now, the question is yours to answer. What will you do with this knowledge? Will you let it slip away like so many fleeting moments? Or will you seize it and let it transform your reality? Imagine a life where the fog lifts, where your connection to the divine grows stronger with every decision you make. What would it feel like to wake up and know you are fully aligned with your higher self, free from the chains of illusion? The Hermetic key is in your hands. Will you use it to unlock your potential, to reclaim your sovereignty, to reignite the spark that was always yours? Or will you let the forces that profit from your disconnection tighten their grip once more? The choice isn't just spiritual, it's cosmic, and it starts with you.